While I was in St. Petersburg during the summer, I came across this event that is pretty surprising. It's actually a St. Petersburg Harley Davidson event called Harley Days. And apparently, this has been going on since 2011. So it's a pretty big event. Here I am, I think the day that it was starting, maybe on a Friday during the daytime. So I guess I was early. Most people are probably still at work at this time, but you could see there's still pretty good turnout of people so far. Um, I don't know what these people are doing over here with the fire and the anvils, what they're making. They're forging some tools or knives or something. I don't even know what those signs say. If somebody knows, put it in the comments, please, because I'm kind of curious what the hell they're doing there. But anyway, I looked up this event, and apparently it's not even sponsored by Harley Davidson. The local Harley Davidson chapter or group or whatever put this event together, from what I understand. And it gets pretty big. I mean, apparently, 90,000 people visited this event this year in 2018, and there was something like 4,000 motorcycles that came to this event or participated in it. They do some rides along historical St. Petersburg, as well as the new highways and things like that. So it's pretty interesting. People from all over the world come to this thing, as far as South Africa, the U.S., Middle East, probably like 30 countries or more. So pretty interesting to see this. And I don't know what is going on over here with this scene that looks like something out of Mad Max or something, with these weights and these chains and whatnot. It looked pretty interesting. I don't know what the whole point of this was, but it's basically like some kind of photo opportunity where you lift these what looks like huge weights in some crazy industrial gym or something like that. And I guess you take your pictures for Instagram or whatever you're going to do with it, but it was pretty cool. I haven't seen that any other kind of events like this before, so it was pretty interesting. Before I came to St. Petersburg, I was in Moscow, and you can see in my Moscow nightlife video, I shot some of the film of a bunch of guys pulling up to the clubs and bars with their Harleys. So it seems like that's kind of a status symbol, kind of showing that you have money, and kind of, cool factor, cool money guy kind of factor, to be able to pull up to the club with your big Harley and park in front and make noise when you take off and things like that, which maybe is not that different from the U.S. really, because that's pretty much what a lot of guys use their Harley for over here too. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But so I had an idea of, that Harleys were pretty popular, or big motorcycles, but most of them were Harleys. Maybe there was a few other brands, of big Honda or something like that, but generally most of them were Harleys that I saw. And so when I came here and I saw this event, it really, crystallized it in my brain of how popular Harley Davidson is with Russians, which is pretty interesting, considering one, they don't have the greatest weather for motorcycle riding. So I would imagine that their riding season is maybe, I don't know, June to September or something like that, before maybe it's too cold or too dangerous or too snowy to be riding these things. And two, the average salary of a Russian is pretty low. So Harley Davidsons are pretty expensive. So to shell out the money to buy one of these, you got to be pretty well off, especially considering it's pretty much like a toy. You're not going to be driving this thing to work every day. So you're only going to be using it a few months of the year and shelling out a lot of money for a Harley Davidson. You got to have some disposable income. So I guess that's part of the appeal of riding one of these around. It shows that, you kind of have some money. From going around this event a little bit, it dawned on me that without the Russian Cyrillic letters, if everything here was in English, and you showed this film to an American, they would think it was an American Harley Davidson event. I mean, you got the bikes, you got the rock band, you got the people, dressed up in their motorcycle vests and jackets and all kinds of stuff. So it's really not much different or very similar to some kind of Harley Davidson event you would expect to see in the US. But if you asked an American, what the typical Russian looks like, they wouldn't tell you, some guy on a Harley hanging out at some rock concert in a nice sunny day in St. Petersburg. They would, they'll automatically would think you're sitting in some one-room apartment freezing while it's snowing outside, eating borscht and, fixing 30-year-old Lada cars to drive around or something like that, So it's pretty crazy to see this, knowing what most people think about Russia is totally untrue. And it's just from years of, seeing how it's portrayed on TV, and you see that it's completely different or nothing like it, really. So I guess that's part of why my channel name is To Go Is To Know, because before I came to Russia, I didn't know either. Is it going to be cold all year long? Is it just going to be a bunch of Ladas driving down the street or whatever? Who knows, But you come and you see for yourself, and you can form your own opinions on what it's really like and what the people are really like. So if you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and keep a lookout for my future videos. Thank you.